That's true. Maybe she's just that kind of girl.
The C word.
Exactly.
I like how you're not actually saying it.
Hi, and welcome to a new episode of Bad Movies and Swedish Opinions. Today's movie has been Hungerford. Apparently, Hungerford is a place in England. I was thinking throughout the movie why it's called Hungerford, but yeah, it's a small village. It's about 5,000 inhabitants. And the movie was released in 2014. The director is called Drew Casson, and the writer-producer is also Drew Casson and a girl called Jess Cleverly. The budget is around $25,000, which means that it's $10,000 less than Velociraptor Pastor that we saw last week. Just so we get like a, idea of what money it's about. Should we just jump right into the movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it starts out with this character called Cohen, who starts his camera and starts recording himself. He is telling us that he's going to record himself and his buddies for 7 days for some reason.
School project.
Was it a school project?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Was it meant to be a movie? In that sense, or was it just like to document what they were doing? Because they were only drinking the whole time.
I think they were only supposed to document throughout their days for 7 days.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of grade expected to get on it, because really, if it wasn't for the fact that shit happened, they don't do anything except partying.
Exactly. It's the lowest possible effort to put on a school project. Put a camera on your face and just do random stuff that you usually would do on the weekdays.
And also the main character, Cohen or whatever, he's also the director and stuff. So I guess that's why he has such a big role.
Apparently. Yeah, so speaking of Cohen, the main character, he goes around the building that he is in and starts introducing the characters. So we might as well do the same. Mm-hmm. So as I said, Cohen, the main character, I have written here in my notes that he's the over-dramatically lover boy. And then we have Adam, the tough guy. Besides that, we have a girl called Phil. She's the over-dramatically lover girl. And then we have Kip, the Who.
I think he's meant to be the smart guy.
Yeah, but he has like 0 screen time. And he does nothing of importance.
No, he really does not.
Yeah, so he's the Who. Anywho, let's start walking through the movie here. So, as I said, it's recorded in first person. And it stays like that throughout the movie. To start this off, I usually have a big problem with this. I'm guessing you guys have too, with the first person perspective, especially in chaos movies, because, at some point it doesn't really make sense. And what do I mean, Adam?
And yeah, it feels really goddamn stupid, because in these scenes where, we're being chased by zombies and stuff, we need to film back and show them what's actually chasing us. Like, no one would actually carry their camera around at that point.
Right, exactly. Because, you're in a life-threatening situation, and the last thing you would think of is to document it.
Yeah, I have to record this.
Exactly. At least that is the way I would have reacted in that situation, at least.
It makes more sense in movies like Paranormal Activity, because it's never intense action scenes per se.
And it's usually like stationary cameras filming stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity is a very great example of this, because they are filming it in a third-party sense. They're not dragging the camera necessarily with them in any situation, because there is a good scene where she's getting dragged off into the closet, And if this were this movie, he would bring the camera and run after her. But in the Paranormal Activity movie, he just runs after her and he accidentally records it in that sense. So that's a good example. There's other movies that have done this similar thing and it doesn't work out. It's not a budget thing because, the Cloverfield movie, it's the same thing there. It doesn't make sense that they would record everything. It's just like putting the camera up in people's faces when they're crying or whatnot. Let's drop that. So we got that out of the way, but let's move out from movie. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, after they introduce the characters, we get some sort of explosion. I'm not really sure what happens here, if it's a lightning strike or if it's the twist in the end that's happening in the beginning, or if it's just a coincidence that these two things happens at the same time.
I think it's the thing that happens at the end, but they think it's lightning.
I think so too.
Okay. It would be fun though if it was just a coincidence. Like stuff could happen at the same time.
Yeah, but it was like green lightning and stuff, so it's weird.
Yeah.
It didn't look like your normal thunderstorm though.
The fun part also is a small detail in this very beginning of the scene, is that in the lightning strike, they have changed the tone of the video camera to the more bluish kind. They usually do that to show off the seriousness of the scene. Yeah. Moving on, I wrote here that I kind of already thought that the jumping in the camera due to the first person recording is kind of annoying already.
But it's also surprisingly stable to be this kind of hand-holding camera thing. Yeah. That surprised me.
Maybe
I mean, it's shaky, but I feel like it's way more stable than it should be if this was real and stuff.
Okay, yeah, it should be worse. You mean?
Yeah, it probably should be, but whatever. At least I don't get motion sick.
I got a little. Not the game, the gamer. What's it called with the Gerard Butler?
Yeah, gamer,
yeah, exactly. That was the worst. Moving on. So the story develops and they are invited to a party in a different building. And so they are going to walk over there. And now we are kind of introduced to, the thing that's going on right now. And what we are knowing at this point is that people are kind of, just stumbling around and falling to the streets. I mean, they kind of look drunk, right?
Yeah.
And I think they stole that from they actually make a reference in the movie where they are saying Shaun of the Dead, and I think that they shows the way of their behavior from that they're acting drunk.
I was actually also thinking that they're even admitting that they copied a lot from Shaun of the Dead.
Exactly. A strange movie to copy as well, a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they reach the house and the story continues on from there. I gotta say, from this point, the dialogue between the people kind of feels pretty natural, and I have no problem with the acting at this point.
No, it's pretty decent, actually. Not mind-blowing, but still okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. Stuff happens at the party, nothing to mention, but there's a girl who probably is infected with this thing, and she starts to chew blood and spit blood and collapse. Yeah, and so Adam, one of our characters, is being accused of drugging her, and they are being sent home.
And I feel like that came out of the blue.
Yeah, it's kind of a harsh thing to accuse a person for as well, because if he drugged her, it kind of looks like she's about to die.
Yeah, what the fuck was that drug?
It's a real leap to make like, oh shit, this girl collapsed and she's starting to cough up blood. Oh, he probably drugged her. Like, okay.
What?
Exactly, that feels like the police should be involved in this. So the day after, they're a bit pissed about this, but Cohen calls Janine and tries to explain the situation and say that, well, I don't think it was Adam, because it was a bit excessive, And Janine also in the phone calls tells Cohen that, well, yeah, my father's been acting weird as well. But she's still pissed. I don't know if you necessarily need to do the connection between those things, but still, it's strange.
And also, why is she pissed at Cohen if she thinks it's Adam's fault?
I think it's about him defending his friend. Don't you think so?
Yeah, but she was pissed at him the day before when he didn't
true.
defend him either.
That's true. Maybe she's just that kind of girl.
The C word.
Exactly.
I like how you're not actually saying it.
Great. So in this point of the movie, we're about 25 minutes in, and nothing has really happened besides those things. It's a very empty movie in content in that sense, because it's only about partying and drama, between girls and guys, and at some point Phil kind of, subtle tells Cohen that she likes him, and
he doesn't get it.
No, exactly, and that's pretty much the story at this point.
I don't know about you, but I actually like the first half of the movie much better than the last half, mostly because it's like so slow building with this tension that something's going on, but you don't really know what, and it's more focused on how they're adapting to the stuff, that something mysterious going on.
Yeah, when something actually happens in the second half, it kind of goes overboard with it, so it's not interesting anymore.
I agree with you that slow build-up is good, but I kind of felt that this was too slow.
I know that this is certainly not for everyone, so it might just be me, but I kind of like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
It kind of felt it was the same scene all over. It was them drinking, whining, drinking, whining, drinking, whining, and then something small happened in between, like nothing even worth mentioning. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think this was too slow of a build-up.
I like the character building part of it, I guess.
Very well. Something actually happens after this, after the sweet talk between Phil and Cohen. The postman attacks Phil, and a really weird fight starts happening between, I think it's Adam and the postman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, first it's Cohen, but he gets thrown away, and then Adam attacks him.
Exactly. And this fight kind of escalates pretty quickly. There's a knife involved after the first minute. And he stabs this person, and Adam stabs the postman, and the postman doesn't seem to react. And then he brings up his second weapon, which seems to be some sort of, is it like a hairspray, or what is it?
It's like deodorant spray or something like that.
Yeah, they call it deodorant.
Oh, right, okay. So they uses the deodorant on the postman. He falls to the floor, and an insect crawls out of his neck. Did we get to see that?
I didn't see that at first.
No,
maybe it's supposed to be revealed later on, but it's pretty much the next scene.
But why would his face get all? Why would that get all burned and stuff? That I didn't get that.
Yeah, that didn't make sense. I also thought about that later on in the movie, but maybe we can get back to that. Yeah. So after they accidentally kill this guy, from their perspective, they are talking about if they should call the police, and this was weird because the police actually shows up.
Yeah, and they don't tell him. But also, why wouldn't they call the police? They have video evidence of what happened. It's not their fault.
That's the thing. They have a very strong case of self-defense because they actually filmed the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That is good. I actually didn't think about that. I thought about the other stuff including the camera, but I didn't think about that. But the one thing I reacted to was that the policeman shows up and they don't tell him. Did he call him and change their mind, or was it just a coincidence?
No, he showed up because of the drug accused the day before. So he...
Right. Good.
So he wants to look through their apartment to see if they have weed, unless he can buy it from them.
Right. And he gets weed and he gets out.
Yeah.
And they decides to dump the body in what's the English word for a bigger bin?
Yeah, it's just like a big trash bin,
Right.
container
Exactly.
outside of the apartment.
That fits the body.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good idea because apparently the garbage truck comes and collects the trash without actually checking it. So they think it makes perfect sense. They will just collect the body and take it to the junkyard without checking it.
And here's the fun part. So if we're talking about them accidentally filming the fight between Adam and the postman, that video would set them free. Now they're recording themselves dumping the body in a trash bin and talking about how to get rid of the body and using the camera to film this and accidentally,
incriminate themselves.
Exactly.
What do you think is going on in Cohen's mind at this moment? They think, okay, I need to film this. I can send this to the teacher later.
Yeah,
exactly. I dumped the body and shit.
Yeah, he kind of needs to edit stuff out later on. That's for sure.
Takes the school project really seriously.
He does. Maybe like Pinky swears with the teacher that she's not going to rat him out.
Yeah.
Very well. The day after, Cohen is kind of concerned, and checks the body and sees a hole in it. And he brings Adam over and tries to show him as well. And here's the dumb thing also, if you want to talk about, doing criminal stuff. Their fingerprints are all over the body. Like, seriously. Just a small comment, yeah. I don't think, are they convinced at this point that something has happened? Or
no,
did
they just, he has a weird hole in his neck. And he shows Adam, it's just a flesh wound. What the hell is that kind of flesh wound?
Exactly. It looks like an egg hatched or something. It's like really big.
It's something exploded out of his fucking neck.
Exactly. This part is the dumbest thing in the entire movie. The following thing here. They have a theory now that maybe people are infected with something and they want to check out the theory. And do you know how they do this?
I think I know the part you're referring to, and I have no idea why Adam would agree to do this.
Exactly. So, as the fight between Adam and the postman ended up with them using some sort of deodorant spray to, knocking off. They want to test this on random people. So they're standing in an alley or something, and people are just walking by, and he starts spraying them. And of course, this guy, he's scared because random people are spraying with deodorant or whatnot, and he runs off. And then they chase him. What the hell?
And to make it worse, if you remember, the reason why they won't call the police is because Adam is on parole or something, so they can't let him get into trouble with the law. And then Cohen convinces him to spray a random guy in the face with deodorant.
And then chase him off.
And this is like, okay, this spray actually killed a person, so let's try it on some more people. Like, what? They would just kill more if it works.
Exactly.
But the worst thing about this is that this guy actually is one of the alien bug thingy people.
Yeah, okay. That's true. But they could not have known this.
No.
So, from their perspective, they're just harassing people.
Yeah.
To testing out their theory.
Yep.
Yeah.
It could have potentially killed a random person if the spray was what they thought it was.
Yeah, or making them blind or whatever. I don't know. I would have been scared. Moving on. Apparently, Adam and Cohen get separated. Cohen gets back to the house, and Adam appears. Apparently, he's infected now.
Yeah, he's infected by a bug in his neck, and it tells him to attack Cohen. Exactly. So he does. And they spray him with a spray, but this time, for some reason, the bug jumps out of the neck, and Adam is fine. He's not burnt in the face like the last guy.
Exactly.
And they kill the bug, which is also stupid looking big rubber thing, but whatever.
Right. This is the kind of inconsistency that I really, really dislike.
It might be that it's because the bug has got inside Adam, so it didn't fully merge with his body yet.
Yeah, but still, why would he get burned? I don't know.
I don't know.
He kind of using you like like holy water or some exorcist session or something.
I thought about this too, but then you have to assume that it's some kind of incubation time before that happens, because the postman, we don't know how long he has been infected. It can't be more than a day or two at most. So it's weird.
I don't know. It's the best I could think of.
Yeah. I thought about it too, but it's still stupid.
And it's one of the problems that I have with the movie. We can talk about that later on. It's about how they are making up rules for the movie as they go.
Mm-hmm.
Very well, they spray Adam, the bug jumps out, and they kill it, and Adam is fine. Like, really fine. I mean, even if the bug or whatever didn't fully merge with him, he still has a pretty big hole in his neck. I mean, this is really big, and I would have been quite concerned, and I think I would have gone to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, Adam is the tough guy, as I wrote in my notes, so he's not going to do that. Well, now they are convinced, right? Something is happening. There is pretty good proof now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So now they need to, move on with the story, and this is getting annoying, but they want to save Janine. Cohen is hopelessly in love with this girl, and he really needs to save her. And I mean, there's really nothing saying that she would be in a situation where she needs to be saved, but they just assume, which means that Cohen is putting himself and others on the line for something he's not even know is a problem.
I found it weird also that they have like a vote if they should go save her or not, and Adam actually thinks that it's a good idea to go and save her when he's the one that's been accused and
exactly
as well.
I also found that strange because I thought it felt really out of character of him to be so fine with going to save her.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, and when they decide to save her, here is a jump where I missed, because for some reason they're in some sort of mall at this point in the dark.
Yeah, what happened was that they realized that we need more deodorant, so they sneak into this mall or whatever to take some there.
Ah, okay. So they needed to go shopping. Great. So they use these weapons, and they go outside. They find Janine, and she's crying, but she looks like she's safe. I don't know why she's crying.
No, she's just sitting behind her bed in a fetal position, crying for some reason.
Yeah, but she wasn't in a critical situation.
No, it's no one else in her house except her father, which is locked in a different room downstairs.
And here's the dumb thing too. They don't want to save her dad, but based on the information we got earlier, now we also need to assume, like you said, Ruben, depending on how long the postman was infected. But the postman you couldn't save the postman, you would get burnt in the face. But you could save Adam, but you can't save her father. You can't spray him with something and that the bug jumps out and they just move on.
Yeah, who knows?
Exactly, and that's a problem, because I was like, why wouldn't they try to save him? Just spray him and see what happens.
Yeah, what do they have to lose?
Exactly. Instead, they do spray him and the bug jumps out, but then what happens? Did he die?
I can't actually remember. I think they hit him with an axe or something.
Yeah, exactly. Why did he kill him?
I have no idea.
Doesn't matter. So many questions, you don't really know the answer. You can't really speculate either. I guess that maybe the bug has been in his body for so long that maybe even if he left, that he couldn't control himself anymore. I don't know. Brainwashed. I don't know.
But this bug, it doesn't seem that smart either, because earlier in the movie, he just stands in his room bashing his head against the window and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a glass window. I don't know why.
Yeah, he's not even trying to break the window. He's just standing there, like gently pushing his head against the window.
Okay, and so they leave the house. now we have the gang of 5, the original people. We haven't even mentioned Kip. He's like 0 in this movie.
Yeah, he doesn't contribute much.
No. I mean, nothing like really matters with him, but maybe we'll mention him later on. I don't know. Either way,
Kip's only role seemed to be to look at maps and check, okay, this route is probably the safest to take since we want to get here.
Exactly.
And he also convinces Cohen in one scene later on, but yeah.
Yeah, but still
to keep fighting, but that's just
yeah. Still, it's not very necessary of him to do so. They could have done that in a different way if they wanted to.
Definitely.
Yeah, so they leave Janine's house, they're outside running, and now there's some chaos-ish. There are people running around and trying to eat people or kill them or capture them. I don't know. It's not really decided yet, I guess. But they try to defend themselves towards these people, and they kill some of these bug-infested people, and they get back to their original house, and they are a bit sad. So we have a scene here now where everybody's crying and trying to, justify what they just did.
Also, Phil almost got caught and killed by the thing, so they saved her on the way. So she has a breakdown about that.
Just to clarify, Cohen still thinks a good idea to film all these emotional scenes.
Exactly. Good point.
Good friend.
And this Phil girl, is she only in the movie and as a girl so she can be saved? I mean, she's about to be saved later on as well, or at least they try to.
Yeah, for some reason, she films herself later on at night when everyone else has gone to bed. And she says, "Oh, they saved me, so now I'm going to go risk my life trying to get a car so we can escape."
Exactly. So here's dumping number 3 or 2 or whatever number we're on, and they need to get back to Jenny's house again.
No, it's actually the communal building or whatever it's called, where her dad works. He had his car there, not that.
Okay. So at least it's a different building, because I thought they were going back to Jenny's house again in order to get the car, and I was like, "You're going back the same route again?"
Yeah. I thought that was stupid too, but then I realized it was another building.
Okay, good. Well, as you said, Ruben, she feels like she needs to do this by herself, records herself, and gets off.
And how do the other people know that she recorded this? Do they check the recordings?
Oh my god!
Like all the time, or what?
Good point. So they're actually looking at the video at some point. Then they should realize that, we have filmed ourselves dumping a body in a trash bin. Maybe we should get rid of this and also stop filming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Phil leaves. Adam is sad. I don't know if we mentioned this, but Phil and Adam are siblings.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter to the story, but
which also begs the question: what's up with Kip? Because we know that Adam and Phil are siblings, so they live together in an apartment, and Cohen is living with them because he's sleeping on the couch. But what the heck is up with Kip? Because he's always there.
Yeah.
They don't explain it, but I guess he's also living on another couch, I guess.
Yeah. Well, so they want to help Phil because he left, and Cohen and Adam. No, it's only Cohen, right? He goes out by himself.
It's Cohen and Kip, actually.
Right, someone is filming. Oh, it's Kip. He's so forgettable.
Yeah, so Adam and Janine stays at the house.
So they go outside. They end up in a situation where they need to defend themselves, and a policeman shows up. I don't know, it's the same policeman.
It's the same one.
Yeah, so he shoots them, and he shares this information of if you shoot them in the neck, the bug die. And which is very useful information, but every time someone is running towards him, he shoots them through the head.
Yeah, but also a lot of their heads just go clean off, so I guess it works.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to try to save these people, I'm guessing shooting their head off isn't the best thing.
Nope. The police officer just wants a badass scene for himself where he kills other people.
And this is the only cringe scene, I think.
Yeah, because the effects are pretty bad as well.
Oh, I know. And they just want to make him look like a cool policeman. And then he has a shotgun or whatever.
And he has a stupid one-liner or two as well.
Yeah.
That I don't even remember, but whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So they kind of get a hold of the car. They move on, and they find a bunch of infected people. They crash the car, and the policeman died. Phil gets kidnapped. And Cohen is left in the car.
And Kip as well.
God damn it.
So why... This is stupid in a lot of ways, but if they're driving towards a group of people, why would you just keep driving so they crash? Wouldn't they stop and drive another way before they'd hit them? Or whatever. And then the car crashes. The police officer dies. Janine gets kidnapped, but not Cohen and Kip. So if they want hosts for their bugs, why won't they kidnap all three of them? Or if they just want to kill them? I mean Phil, not Janine. Yeah. So why would they kidnap Phil and not the other two? Or why wouldn't they kill all three of them if that's what they wanted?
Look, let's be fair. You wouldn't want Kip either. He's completely useless and forgettable.
Exactly. They don't even notice him.
I guess so.
But I don't know with Kip, because he's not being in this shot at this point, but Cohen is, he's unconscious. Phil is awake. I don't know with Kip, as I said, but maybe they kind of think that they are dead and only choose the possible host that's alive, and that's why they kidnap Phil.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It doesn't matter, because it doesn't really make sense. And the one thing I reacted to is after this scene, because Cohen and Kip gets out, they run away, and they talk about saving them. And I was like, why would this talk about saving them? From what I know, they're pretty fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Cohen throws in a new rule of the movie. Maybe she didn't fight back, and then she might be okay. Okay, so if you don't fight back, they just take you and put you in a cage, and then it's fine.
Maybe.
Yeah. And here's the problem with this.
Yeah.
So you can continue. I'm just going to say what I have a problem with.
No, say it.
Yeah, I have a problem because now we have a problem with Adam as a character, because he's a pretty tough guy and it always takes the fight. So let's say that they only kidnap people that doesn't put up a fight. Then I'm pretty sure Adam would be killed. Yeah. Because he would totally fight them.
Yeah. That's what they do as well, because what we didn't mention here is that Kip and Cohen, when they wake up, they go back to their old apartment, and they find that Janine and Adam has been kidnapped.
Right.
And wait, they filmed the attack with their phone, so they find the phone and see what happens, that they got caught. And you can clearly tell that it's been a struggle, that they fight back.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so they get, I don't know, they should have get killed, but they got kidnapped. And now we have a situation where Cohen is kind of thinking, how should I record this, but also been able to defend myself? So this is the premise that he is in. He needs to film this for the life of him. I mean, he really needs to film this. So he kind of, puts on a GoPro on his chest in order to be able to record this. I mean, come on, Cohen. Your friends are probably dead, and you're going on a, life and death mission. Can you please drop the camera?
Yeah. What the hell?
Well, they go outside, and since we need to have Cohen as the main character to be the cool one in this movie, we still have a problem here. We have Kip. And I'm guessing the director kind of forgot about him too, because when they're outside, it's like, oh shit, we have Kip, and I can't have Kip filming me doing this. So they find a car with 2 kids in it, and Kip is supposed to, I don't know, put them in a safe place in some house somewhere.
Yeah, my thoughts about this is that Cohen is also the director and writer of the movie, so I guess he wanted to portray himself as the badass hero, so he threw Kip away for some useless thing.
Yeah, exactly. I also got a flashback to when we watched Birdemic, because it's the same thing here, that they find a car with 2 people in it, or two kids, and they want to save the kids. And I was like, I wonder if they stole that.
Yeah, copying Birdemic of all movies.
Exactly. Because no one would have seen Birdemic, so no one would do that association, but they haven't met us.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well, doesn't matter. He moves on by himself, and I don't know why, but he goes to some sort of industrial facility.
This is the factory that the lightning happened at the beginning of the movie.
Okay, so that's why he went there. Because I was like thinking, why would he go to that specific place? But okay, it's the lightning that he just made an assumption.
This is also the place where they chased the guy with the deodorant spray, and they ended up at that factory as well.
Okay, good. Either way, they're at an industrial facility, and he sees a lot of people in a cage. One thing about this scene that he uses all throughout the movie is something that I like, because he often does some sort of jump cut in the same scene, where in this case the person goes inside the cage to get a person or for food or something, and then they cut the scene to where he's outside the cage. I like this because it creates a kind of eerie feeling when something doesn't act as you expect, so you always feel a bit uncomfortable. Like an example for the Grudge character or the girl in the Exorcist movie, when something is moving outside of what you expect, you always kind of, think it's a bit weird.
This scene annoyed me too, because he goes up to the prisoners and he has the ability to let them out, but oh no, I'm going to save my friends first so you can get screwed here. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Goodbye. It made no sense. It made absolutely no sense. He could just have released them.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
even if they wouldn't help him with his stuff, at least they would be free.
Right. But if he doesn't survive, then no one else should.
I guess.
He could have given the tape to them, so his documentation would have been. Anywho, they walk. Cohen walks inside the industrial facility, finds some spider webs there, and that people are, wrapped in these spider webs, and apparently they use them for food. And they look pretty solid. So my first thought is that they probably suffocated in this, but of course not. He finds Adam and he's okay. He finds Janine and she's okay. And he's like, oh my God.
It was very convenient.
Yeah, I don't. And
then stupid.
And then something really anticlimactic happened, because they meet the main monster. I thought it was the main monster at least. And you kind of get a glimpse of him and you're feeling out, okay, let's see what he can do. But then a goddamn SWAT team ends up from nowhere and shoots him down.
Yeah, this was really random.
It was. I have no idea where this SWAT team came from.
But I don't know. He told Kip when he escaped with the kids that he should contact the authorities to send help and stuff. So I guess that's what happened.
Yeah, but they felt so random. They came from nowhere.
Yeah, really random.
Yeah. But they get outside and they are safe in a way. And then they see a mothership circulate in the village, and they're supposed to take over the world, because there's an end scene where Cohen is acting all cool and whatnot, and talking about finding Phil and taking down the alien invasion. And then the movie ends.
Yep. It totally a change of character as well. It doesn't seem like the same character.
No. I mean, of course he could develop as a person, but it doesn't feel like him at all. It's just a cool thing that he wanted to do, and again, I didn't like it. I thought it was too much.
Yeah, it was a bit much and cringy. cliche ending.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's probably saving too much in this movie, doing all the cliche things, But the biggest problem I have with the movie is that nothing is really happening. And when it's supposed to happen, something else happens that you didn't expect, and not in a good way, just like a random way. So
maybe we should rate it then.
Yeah, we should rate the movie. I can go first if you want to.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So the first thing I want to say is that the movie isn't bad in a way. First, I wanted to say that this is a waste of time, but not fully waste of time because I spent some time watching the movie on the toilet. But besides that, it's pretty bad. But it isn't that bad. The only thing that it's boring and it's dragged out. And I think he overdid the movie. I mean, he could have shortened the movie. When they got Janine, they could have gotten the car and they could have gotten away already from that point. But still, they need to go back to the main house and then they need to move on again and then again. It's like a game. It's like the mission always starts from the house. And it doesn't make any sense, I would say. If you need to find a safe spot, then you would do so. You wouldn't necessarily go back to that house. What was wrong with Janine's house? It was big. They could have stayed there. I don't know. That is probably the biggest problem I have. I think the acting is fine. They're overdoing it at some points, but it isn't that bad. And, it's always hard to play scared or that you feel like you're in a despair or try to put you in a situation where you kill a person and you need to react to that. It's, of course, very hard. And if you don't have much experience, it's not much to do. But one thing I think is the absolute best in this movie is the way that they're communicating. The dialogue is very good. I think it feels very fluent and it's very good written. So I think he has some talent for that, the director, Casson, whatever his name was. But since it's not good, it's not bad, and it's weird, I'm just going to give it a 5 out of 10.
For me, I felt it was pretty okay at first. I liked the character building, and it felt pretty natural the way they were talking and stuff. And then when the first bug appeared, I just, oh no, this is bad now. I didn't like that at all. It just spun out of control, and the director, like, he couldn't contain. I felt like he couldn't contain the gravity of the situation or the big thing about the world, what's happening in the world, into this small little camera that he's carrying around. It doesn't really work for me. And also, I didn't like how we have to assume a lot of things, and there are a lot of inconsistency with the bugs, and yeah, there was a lot of annoying things. Some cringe here and there, and it was pretty cliche overall. I mean, it's not the worst movie ever, but it's not something you haven't seen before, so I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 10.
All right, so I kind of like this movie at the start, and it's not a bad idea, and it's certainly not a bad movie, but when stuff actually begins to happen, it becomes so annoying that he just keeps filming, and it's hard to just get around that because, like, you choose to film this way because you want it to feel realistic, because you want it to feel like this is actually happening rather than it just like being something that's a story being told by someone else. But it kind of loses the point when you are unable to accept that they just keep filming. No, that's just a big problem. And a lot of things don't make sense, as mentioned before. So all in all, I'm going to give it 5 out of 10.
Great. There you have it. And also remember that you can contact us as bmso.contact@gmail.com. We're happy for all sorts of feedback and, of course, suggestions of bad movies. With that said, see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.